Arts to order your tickets online today.
Hannah Wallace now serving, as Cabarro said. Julia Wilson is now better. Kayla Zarbach.
Nice fight.
Zarbach is on fire at the moment.
Zarbach really looks like she knows what she has to do to be a winner.
Tip by Montel Goodwin. Gets the steal. Gives Mike Davis for three. No good. Rebounded by Wilson. Wilson put back up and in.
You're listening to Lakeland's Lake Effect Radio, the official home of Lakeland Sports. If you want to watch and listen, you can tune to www.livestream.com/Lakeland's Lake Effect Radio.
All right, and ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Thursday edition of Beyond Question. Matt Bossman alongside Tom Butler.
Hello.
And today we got a lot of headlines in the world of sports, starting in baseball. Joe Girardi, you are out. The Yankees decide not to bring back Joe Girardi, even considering the fact that Joe Girardi helped them defeat the Indians this year and get to the ALCS.
That's
so,
disappointing.
with all of this going on, Tom, what's your first thoughts?
That's pitiful on the New York Yankees. I mean, I understand that when it comes to them getting in the playoffs, they have to win a World Series, otherwise they feel that it's not a win for the season.
Right.
Just because it's the Yankees, it's the most historic team in baseball.
Right.
So, like, why? I just don't get it, though.
I don't either.
Like, you beat the number one seed, the team that was expected to go all the way this year in the Cleveland Indians, and you're going to let go of Joe Girardi, who is the person who helped implement that?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. To me, when I heard about this, I was shocked.
Yeah.
I personally believe that this wouldn't have happened had the Yankees missed the playoffs. Let me explain. So,
yeah. Go ahead.
So the Yankees they weren't expected to go to the playoffs. In fact, I was watching a preseason preview back in April before. It was like a review or a preview of the season, and the Yankees were featured. Alex Rodriguez for Fox was interviewing Girardi and some of the players, and they were kind of shooting for the, we want to play about 500 ball. We've got a lot of inexperience on this team, a lot of young guys. We don't expect much. And so when I heard that, I was kind of thinking, okay, the Yankees aren't going to be that good this year.
But that's not the Yankee way, though.
Yeah, it's not the Yankee
way to play 500 ball and say you're okay
and
with
rebuild and that
ball.
sort of thing. Kind of, see what your talent is and feel it out. I personally think that this is a terrible move on the Yankees' behalf. As a Yankees fan, Cleveland first, New York second. As a Yankees fan, I just hate seeing this. I personally think this team could actually be in a lot of trouble for years to come because of this. Because they're not going to get a manager that's worth having other than Girardi. Girardi was, to me, the only guy that could lead a team. He was perfect. He fit the role of the New York Yankees so well. And he just isn't there now, and it's going to reflect on their performance. It really will, despite whoever they bring in.
All right. So that would lead me into my question, which is, who do you see as the front runners for the Yankees job?
I mean, I have no idea. I seriously have no idea.
I feel like the Yankees are not below trying to just steal some other manager someplace else. Like, I could see them trying to... get Joe Madden from the Cubs. They wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
They wouldn't mind taking him because he's actually won a World Series as well. So, I wouldn't. I would totally see them trying to get Joe Madden, but I feel like Joe Madden's perfectly fine where he is in Chicago. It's
right.
So that brings up some of the other up and
Buck
coming.
Showalter from Baltimore.
Yeah, hire from the inside their own division, which would be another biggie.
I mean, I could see Don Mattingly from the Marlins.
Yeah.
Because the Marlins are kind of going up and down. They're kind of on a roller coaster that I don't think a lot of people within that system want to be on.
Yeah.
So I could see that happening.
And Mattingly would fit in perfectly with New York anyway.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I don't see this being very beneficial to
And I could have sworn Mattingly was a previous Yankees manager.
No, he was the Dodgers.
I know he was
with the Dodgers.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with this situation because this is just unreal for any kind of the New York way.
Yeah.
You know, it's just not the New York way, and they might show some of the front runners in the article on ESPN. This is all coming from ESPN.
Just taking a quick scroll. Yeah, not really seeing all that much.
Yeah, it's not saying anything about front runners. This is it's a sad day for the New York Yankees organization.
But I can definitely see Girardi getting another manager job very soon.
Oh, absolutely. It just doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I feel like the Red Sox job is open for Joe Girardi if he wants that.
And that would be a stab in the back to New York. I mean, it really would be.
I would. And would Joe Girardi be above that? Heck no. Joe Girardi would love to do something like that after he had, after what he did with this team, that, as you were saying, prior to the season starting, they were thinking we might go 500. And to see them bounce the Indians from the playoffs?
Yeah.
That would be an amazing return for Joe Girardi. And I'm not sure how often he got booed as the New York manager, but if he's going to be the Red Sox manager going into New York, you can bet he's going to be booed for the rest of all of next year.
Yeah. So I wanted to get to a different point here in sports, and I've been thinking about this for months, actually, how to fix sports, because sports are broken, in my opinion. I believe that there are too many. I'm a conservative politically, and I am, libertarian conservative, leaning right politically, and a big liberal when it comes to sports. You know, I personally believe that there are too many good teams, or there's very few good teams and too many bad teams in the NBA, in the NFL, in baseball. You can see that it's usually around the same 6 to 8 teams that are always dominant. And so I figured out a way to fix this.
Okay.
And the way I came up with this is actually through video games, which is hilarious.
All right.
I believe that all major sports should have a fantasy draft before every season. I personally believe that would fix the problem in American sports. Because then you wouldn't have the Sacramento Kings with, first of all, the DeMarcus Cousins problem that they had.
Yeah.
He would go into the draft. Everybody would go into the draft. And then it would be, the Phoenix Suns could win an NBA championship. The Browns could win a Super Bowl.
Now, there is a problem with that in that players have contracts.
Right, but I think you get rid of that and you set a base. So basically, think about it in the way of... I was actually talking to my buddy about this yesterday. Compare it to this. So in Australia, in their voting system, they have tiers. Okay, there's usually about 4 to 8 candidates for president. Okay, for the leader of Australia. Mm-hmm. And the way you vote is not, I pick, Donald Trump over Hillary Clinton. Vote Trump. No. What they do is they have tiers. And so they go tier 1. If tier 1 loses, who would you be okay with in tier 2? If tier 2 loses, tier 3. And bottom of the barrel, the person you don't want at all is in tier 4, but they might win. So they rank them 1 through 4. So that's how I feel the contract situation should be, is if you have performed well the season before, your contract this year will be based off of tiers. So in tier 1, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Cam Newton, the top quarterbacks will get paid the most. Yeah. The ones that performed the best the season before. Mm-hmm. And then tier 2, so like a base tier 1 contract, 1 year, $30 to $40 million. Tier 2, $25 to $28 million. Tier 3, $16 to $20. And then anywhere from 1 to 15 for Tier 4. And that's, to me, would fix the problem in sports. And I think, a lot of owners would disagree with me. I'm sure all of these organizations have a problem with that, but I believe that's
any
a perfect
players'
thing.
union will not do that.
Oh, absolutely. The players would be against it.
That's the entire thing.
And it's kind of a socialist way to look at it in a way, because it's like but it's also thrown in with a little capitalism, because it's based off of your performance, not what the team wants to pay.
Yeah.
Then you won't have anybody going over the salary cap.
So you won't have somebody like an Eli Manning or a Joe Flacco who
making more than a Tom Brady.
Yeah. Which I
it's
think
based off of
might actually be
performance.
happening this year for all I know.
I know a guy like
because I feel like, because in my opinion, Flacco and Eli Manning are the AFC NFC
right.
They're doppelgangers essentially.
Right.
Play great against great teams, play crap against crap teams.
Right. And I also think you look at, LaMarcus Aldridge just got a 3-year contract for max money. Okay, he doesn't deserve that. He's not Tim Duncan.
Okay.
He's not, Pau Gasol is, kind of in the same tier as LaMarcus Aldridge. And Gasol's on his last legs, He was on the Spurs, and is he still on the Spurs?
Gasol?
Yeah.
I think he is. That's
I'll look it up.
Quick look. But I actually disagree with you that Pau Gasol and LaMarcus Aldridge are in the same tier, if you would put it that way.
Yeah, he plays for the Spurs.
Okay.
So what would be your fix? I mean, that's my fix to modern-day sports, because sports were originally created for the entertainment of the fan base, for the people to watch, to take their mind off of politics and economic issues in society. So if this is a business and this is something that's supposed to benefit the viewer, the fan, this is a perfect way to go about it.
I'll put it this way. I love that fantasy draft idea. I would love to see that. However, what we should do, I should probably mute my phone. It's fantasy alerts. Anyway, I love the fantasy draft idea. Keep the player contracts, keep the players happy. How about this? The owners now get, they don't necessarily have to have a salary cap. If they want to pay a certain person a certain amount of money, they can.
Okay.
But they have to, because if you're an NFL or NBA or MLB owner, MLB, you already don't have a salary cap. Thank you, Yankees.
Right.
In the NFL and NBA, it would be somewhat like those owners, they could easily pay for anybody on those teams themselves.
Right.
But
it's also like, you could also go to like an auction thing. Everybody's a free agent.
Originally, the salary cap was just put in as to make it more even for teams.
Right.
But now
it doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Especially with the new CBA.
Yeah.
In the NBA. It's just, to me, it's terrible. Our system is so messed up. You have 3 or 4 really dominant basketball teams, and the rest of the league is just there. Mm-hmm. It's just existing, not contributing. It's not, it's making people money, and it's not doing its job.
Yeah, it's like, the Cavaliers, Cavaliers, Warriors, Rockets.
You go all around the school and you'll hear, I'm a Cavs fan, I'm a Warriors fan. I never hear, hey, I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan. I never hear that. I never hear, hey, I'm a Washington Wizards fan. Hey, I'm a Clippers fan. I never hear that. The only reason you hear about the Lakers now is because of Lonzo Ball. If he wasn't drafted yet, that team would be non-existent. That team would still
the only reason we hear about
be
the
a
Lakers
problem.
is because Kyle is in the dang office.
Yeah, because Kyle loves the Lakers. But, it's just the fact of, we have a major problem in sports, especially, and you look at college too. College, I would love to do this similar. I would love to, have that same idea. But the problem is that recruiting is so twisted, because you look at who's always in the top 5 in recruiting: Alabama and Ohio State.
Yes.
Okay. They're usually, their season, they finish in the top top 5, top 10 every
Yeah.
single year.
Especially in Alabama's case, top 5.
I mean, recently in the last couple of years, you've
At
had
least in
Washington. Yeah, in football, you've had Washington become really good. You've had Washington State this year is doing very well. Stanford's kind of on the teeter totter. Getting their a couple weeks are really good, a couple weeks are really bad. But it's usually the same teams, other than the upsets that we see. Mm-hmm. To me, having kind of a fantasy recruiting in a way. You take the prospects, you take these guys that are coming out of high school and categorize them and say, okay, you can't do an auction though because you can't pay the players.
Right,
so you have to do based off of what does that school offer educationally? What does that school offer? And yes, because that's what this boils down to is that you don't go to college to be an NFL player. That may be your intention, but you're supposed to get your degree. You don't come to Lakeland saying, hey, I want to become an NBA player. Okay? Yeah. You're going to go to a Division I or Division II basketball school. Mm-hmm. I never hear anyone. You don't go to school to become an athlete. You go to school to get a degree. And that's just how it's supposed to be. That's the norm. But what these players do, play a year and then go to professional sports, and it's hurting them as individuals. If you listen to some of these athletes and just their grammar, how they talk, to the media after a game. I done did this, and I, had a great game, but we gonna do better next time. It's like they don't know proper English, and it's not because they're stupid. It's because they were never taught right. They weren't. They had no education, no proper education.
There's a video on YouTube. It's a Last Week Tonight video talking about the NCAA and how watered down education is for athletes at this point.
Yeah,
like that's why teams like North Carolina have been in such deep trouble.
Yeah,
with
and look at Louisville now too.
Louisville now,
Baylor with the sexual assault allegations.
Yeah,
I mean,
but that's not education based,
right? But it's still corruption, and
yes.
that's the bottom line, is that it's corruption within the universities, and it having to deal with education, right.
Watered down education,
right. I mean, these players we're talking about, Rashad McCants, a former NBA player who went to North Carolina.
Okay,
he was talking about once he retired from the NBA, he went to the media or some sports media, and he claimed that he took. And basically the classes that he took, knowing he was going to the NBA, he signed up for like the bottom tier, like almost special ed classes, because he could get away with it.
Yes.
And he said, they still let me play. I made it to the NBA, made my millions, didn't get a degree, and I'm retired now. And I got a boat, and I got a house, and I got 3-4 cars, wife, kids, I'm good. Yeah. I didn't need a degree. That's abusing the system.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's loopholes and you find them, okay. But it's just to the point of not the fact that, and it's not, the fans' fault. It's not the university's fault. Really, to a degree, it's the NCAA for looking the other way.
Yeah.
For going, these people, they're going to play pro sports anyway, so why educate them? Because I don't want to hear, in a few years, if Lonzo Ball becomes the MVP caliber player that everyone, prances him around as, and parades him around as, I don't want to hear, yeah, man, I gonna get it. Get what? A win tonight. I don't want to hear people talk like that. I don't want to hear people sound like they, just came out of the washing machine. It's just like, it's ridiculous. The problems that we face in sports, when it comes to college and it comes to into the pros, it's just we have so many issues, and the fact that the underlying, this underlying issue of, sports being rigged, referees blowing calls on purpose because they're gambling on, the winner. You have all these problems that everyone wants to sweep under the carpet, and to me, it's kind of ridiculous. Mm-hmm. It's kind of the fact that, I mean, it's all based on greed.
Well, yeah.
At the end of the day, but I feel like We need to have sort of a revolution in sports.
Yeah.
We need to bring this to light and have people understand that this is a problem. And, if people look the other way, we're going to have, the Warriors-Cavs finals for the next 10 years. I mean, you're going to have these issues. As much as I love the Cavs, I'd like to see them play somebody else. I'd like to see if the Cavs don't get it.
Challenge for the Cavaliers.
I'd like to see, Toronto versus the Timberwolves in the finals. But you're not going to get
interesting. That actually would be an interesting.
That would be cool. But it's it's not going to happen because that's not what Vegas wants. That's not what
the NBA
wants. And fans vote every year who they want to see in the finals.
Yep.
And it's, it's always the Cavs and the Warriors, or the Warriors and somebody else, or the Cavs and somebody else. It's never different. I'm a Cavs fan. I want them to go to the finals. But I want to see, I'd rather have entertaining sports.
You'd rather have a competitive league than one that is just decided before the season even starts.
Oh, absolutely. I'd rather have that. But we're not going to get that.
Nope.
And, it's the problem that we face in society. I mean, we have a lot of, political issues, political problems, but you got to start somewhere, and why not start in sports? We're going to take a break. When we come back, more on Beyond Question, Lake Effect Radio.
Here at Lux, we focus solely on hookah. We have an extremely knowledgeable staff, and we always try to make all of our customers feel at home. This is where true hookah enthusiasts come to smoke. Our prices are reasonable, and our service is outstanding. We are a hookah lounge in the purest sense of the word. A hookah lounge designed and staffed by hookah fans for hookah fanatics. To top it off, we always go above and beyond. We are meticulous in everything that we do. We make sure that your hookah experience is of the highest possible quality. If it doesn't taste right to us, then we won't serve it to you. Majority of our customers turn into regulars and eventually friends because we pride ourselves on our product and service. It's just that simple. We want you to enjoy yourself and expect you to leave happy. If you want the best hookah experience, you come to Lux, located at 37939 Vine Street, Willowby. We invite you to come experience the flavor and see what you've been missing. We hope to see you soon.
You're listening to Lake Effect Radio, the official radio station of Lakeland Community College in Kirtland, Ohio.
The station with the best music. Best music.
I love the music.
Best music.
Lake Effect Radio.
The Hispanic program presents a Day of the Dead celebration, Thursday, October 26, noon to 2 p.m. in the Student Center Atrium S Building. The presenter, Lord Sanchez, alters as a community symbol along with Lake Effect Radio. Special performance by Lakeland student Juan Valderrama on guitar. Try some traditional sweet bread for free. Sugar skulls will also be available for purchase. For information, call Lizette Lopez Pippenberg. Her office number is 440-525-7576.
Coming off the quickest World Series game in 25 years, what would Game 2 hold in store? For starters, Jose Altuve and Giancarlo Stanton winning the Hank Aaron Awards. Vince Scully makes his return to take part in first pitch ceremonies. Rich Hill and Justin Verlander get the starts, but they'd both be distant memories by
Fly ball into left. Back at the wall. It is gone. Seager, Dodgers lead 3-1.
Here's the 0-2. And Marwin lifts this one pretty deep to left center field. Taylor on his horse going back at the wall. That's gone! That's gone! Marwin has tied it at 3. Marwin Gonzalez hits a home run inside the score. His first home run of the postseason. And Kenley Jansen suffers his first career postseason blown save in 13 chances. The 2-0 is drilled deep to left center field. Going back is Taylor looking up. See you later! Jose Altuve puts the Astros ahead in the 10th, 4-3. Altuve with his 6th home run of the postseason. 0-1, breaking ball, and that's hit well, pretty deep to left center field, and you can kiss that one goodbye. Back-to-back jacks for the Astros. First Altuve and then Correa. 5-3.
And this crowd is stunned.
And now the Dodgers can tie the game with one swing of the bat.
All eyes will be on Kike Hernandez and Ken Giles. Base hit right field. Here comes Forsythe. Throw by Reddick. He's not in time. Tie game. A moment ago, the starter Justin Verlander came out of the clubhouse and was yelling at his teammates that this isn't over. To Springer. That's into right center field. Well hit. Won't be caught. It is gone for a home run. George Springer goes deep. And the Astros are back on top by 2.
What an approach. Not only did he get him over, he got him in. And that at bat right there and this night for Springer is exactly what Houston needed. All right, here we go.
7-6.
Puig, the final hope for the Dodgers. Devo delivers. Swing and a miss. Puig strikes out, and that is the ball game. The Houston Astros defeat the Dodgers in 11 innings, 7-6, and they even the World Series at a game apiece.
The Astros stunned the Dodgers with a 7-6 11-inning win for their first ever victory in a World Series game. After hitting just 3 combined home runs in their previous 6 road games this postseason, the Astros hit 4 from the 9th inning up.
And everybody, you heard it. Astros over the Dodgers, 7-6 final in 11 innings. The World Series now is tied at a game apiece, heading to Houston. So, Tom.
Yes.
With this momentum, does this give the Astros the edge after a Game 2 win?
After that's a very hard-fought win. I'm not sure. Are they play? They don't play tonight. They play tomorrow night, right?
Yeah, they have a day off for travel.
Yeah.
But I'm happy as could be. I mean, I don't hate the Dodgers. I really actually like the Dodgers.
Yeah.
I mean, I respect the team.
Yeah.
I don't like certain fans of the Dodgers that are a part of our radio station. And I personally believe that with all the hurricane things going on, it would be a great story in baseball if Houston wins the World Series. I mean, I feel like, as much as I can't stand last year's World Series.
Yes.
I mean, whoever won that series, it was going to be historic. But it was more historic for Chicago to win.
Yeah.
It was a better story for baseball because that's what people wanted to see. The curse broken, whether it was Cleveland's or Chicago's.
Yeah.
And, the fact is that if Houston wins this year, not only would that be a good story, but Houston is now in the American League.
Right.
And they've been in the World Series before against the American League. That would be historic. And the fact that they changed leagues and won the World Series, that would be pretty cool to hear as well. But I just feel like, the Houston pitching has been awful. The hitting is digging them out of these holes that the pitching puts them in.
Dynamite.
And, I personally believe when you have Carlos Correa, you have Jose Altuve, George Springer. I mean, these are the guys that are going, if they hit well, they're going to get you wins, despite of what your pitching does. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting series. I'll say that much. If there's... I'm getting... Anyway.
Better?
A little bit. Anyway, I obviously want to see these Astros win. There's no doubt about that in my mind. I'm really looking forward to a good series. That's essentially all I care about at this point because the Indians are not in it.
Yeah.
But if it's... I don't necessarily care either way outside of that. I do like the whole idea of the Houston Astros playing for like hurricane relief and all that.
Right.
That's an amazing story. But and it carries over a little bit more in the rest of the country rather than here where we're just sulking over the Indians not making it.
Right.
So I don't necessarily feel like the Houston Astros pitching has been as bad as you're talking about, but the hitting is obviously really good. But
Yeah.
do I
Yeah.
see the Astros having momentum? Sure. Much like just going back to something that happened earlier in this postseason when the Indians, after a long 13-inning game, had a day off and then went to New York and quickly blew 3 games and were out of the playoffs.
Right.
So does a big win in extra innings matter? Sure. But can it also not matter if you don't play it correctly? Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I personally think when looking at everything going on in the World Series right now, it's still anybody's series, but the momentum shifts to Houston. Houston does now have that edge of we have 3 games at home in front of our very loyal fans to finish this out. 4, 5, and 6, or 3, 4, and 5 are in Houston.
Yay, math.
Yay, Lakeland education. And I'm personally excited. I'm going to watch these games because I if the Indians can't do it, I'd like to see another American League team do it.
Yeah.
I mean, I was rooting for New York over Houston, but I was personally okay with Houston winning. And
because Houston's still an amazing team.
They're a good story. They're the Cinderella of baseball this year, just with what's happened. So, it'll be nice to see what's going on with the World Series and if Houston wins.
Yeah.
All right, some headlines. We're going to switch to the NFL. Some headlines from the NFL. Aaron Rodgers reportedly had screws inserted into his collarbone for his surgery. His surgery took place after he broke his collarbone in a couple of weeks ago, the game against the Minnesota Vikings. In a taped appearance on TBS, Conan that airs Thursday on TBS, Rodgers told host Conan O'Brien he had 13 screws to repair his collarbone, which he injured during the first quarter of the Packers' 23-10 loss at U.S. Bank Stadium against Minnesota on October 15th. Also, other headlines. The Browns will be playing in London this week.
Right.
It's a 9:30 a.m. start on NFL Network. They'll be playing host, sort of, to the Minnesota Vikings. Russell Okung of the Los Angeles Chargers skipped the upcoming. My gosh, I can't talk now. He told other players. Okay, I can't talk. Russell Okung, other players could skip upcoming meeting with owners. This meeting is about social justice reform within the NFL. Some owners and even Roger Goodell reportedly supported the fact of making a law in the NFL that you have to stand for the national anthem. So that was brought up. Goodell denies it. So we'll see what happens there.
Goodell denies
it. Vikings.
See, now I'm having your problem.
Vikings wide receiver Stephon Diggs confident he'll play in London against the Browns on Sunday.
So in other words, starts Stephon Diggs.
And Patriots Dante Hightower out for season with a torn pectoral. That's crazy.
That's not going to stop them.
No, but their defense has been trash all season, and now it's going to get worse.
That hasn't mattered to the Patriots before.
Right, but I mean, it's going to matter this year because the
Patriots are one of those teams that has always been good, like for the past 10 years plus. Just because they have Bill Belichick and Tom Brady, and that's all that has ever mattered to that team.
Yeah, I don't know.
The wide receivers shift out. The defenses can have wide receivers playing their dang corner. It don't matter. They win. That's what they do.
Something I wanted to play for everybody. Something that brings a tear to my eye.
Rivera will get ready, and the Yankees are 3 outs away from winning the World Series.
Fastball with a drive. Center field going back for Ernie Williams. This one will stay in the park. He's at the edge of the warning track. He makes the catch, and the New York Yankees have won the World Series for the 26th time.
On this date, October 26, back in 2000, the New York Yankees beat the New York Mets in the Subway Series for their 26th World Series title. And also, going to college football, Ohio State hosts Penn State on Saturday afternoon, 3:30 kickoff. Number 6 ranked Ohio State hosting number 2 Penn State. So, JT Barrett has to play very well on Saturday. My wild card, JT Barrett.
Yeah, I mean that's. I don't see how else you could go with that. It was like, was it Saquon Barkley?
Yeah,
of Penn State.
Of Penn State, yeah.
He's definitely gotta be the biggie.
You gotta defend the run.
Barkley,
you stop Penn State.
You stop Penn State.
Yeah, actually,
That's
have you seen the uniforms Ohio State's wearing?
Are they the black ones or we're getting new ones?
They're gray.
We're playing, using the gray uniforms. All right.
These are awesome. Not those. Not those.
Trying to
These.
find the ones now. Okay.
They have like a dark gray helmet.
Okay.
And then they have like. Here's the.
All gray uniforms. Okay.
With LeBron cleats.
Ohio State football players will be playing in LeBron.
With LeBron cleats. Yeah, like the Ohio State team will be wearing all gray and then a darker gray for the numbers. Scarlet-ish, reddish cleats made by LeBron. And then a very dark grayish helmet with the scarlet stickers on them. I love these. I love these uniforms. I think they're awesome.
Doesn't necessarily mean that they'll play better, ever.
They have to.
It's like they have to defend the uniform.
Defend the uniform. Rookie rankings after Week 7 in the NFL. Cornerback Marshawn Lattimore from Ohio State, ranked number 1.
Anywho.
Yeah. But I think that's all the time we have for today if you want to wrap up a little early.
Yeah, I'm down. I'm not sure what exactly we want to end with on, like, the Browns still suck, and that is beyond question.
Everybody, yes, that is true. Take it easy, everybody. We will see you next week. Have a great night. Also, Halloween party tonight at Lakeland, 9 o'clock for the adults, 6 to 8 for the kids. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of great people are going to be there, and I think candy will be provided, and other things. Hayride, too. Yeah, that's at 6. Everybody have fun. Have a great day. Listening to Beyond Question.